Welcome to Living Life Unbinged. I'm your host, Christy McCammon, and I'm here to help you conquer sugar cravings, break free from food obsession, and step into the surrendered and abundant life God has planned for you. Let's dive in. Today, I want to share a little story with you about some roads in my neighborhood that really made me think about how our brains work. So we had a bunch of construction going on for over a month, and cones and redirects and detours everywhere. The road that leads in and out of my neighborhood is normally just a simple 2-lane road. Okay, so picture this, 1 lane going in and 1 lane going out. But during the construction, one side of the road was completely blocked. So what they did was detour all of the traffic over to the other side. So basically, the one open side of the road temporarily became 2 lanes squeezed into a really small space. And because of that, every time you drove through this little section, you had to do the same little maneuver. You'd be driving straight, then you jog your car slightly left, enter that temporary 2-lane section, drive through it, and then once you pass the construction, you jog back over to the right and return to the normal road. Now, this went on for over a month, every day, in and out of the neighborhood multiple times, drive, turn to the left a little, drive through that 2-lane squeeze, tight road, jog back to the right, and then continue on. So after a while, it became totally automatic. I didn't even have to think about it anymore. My brain just knew the routine. Then one day, the construction was done. The cones were gone. The road was fully open again, and it looked great. Everything was back to normal. But the next day, I was driving through that same area, and without even thinking about it, my brain did what it had done for the last month. I took a little left detour, except this time there was no detour. There was no temporary lane, and suddenly I found myself face to face with oncoming traffic. I had accidentally driven straight into the opposite lane because my brain was still following that old pattern. Thankfully, it was really slow traffic, and I quickly corrected myself. But here's the funny part. I wasn't the only one who did it. Over the next few days, I saw several other people do the same thing. Their brains had also gotten used to the detour. Even though the road had changed, their brains were still following the old route. But then something interesting happened. Within another week or so, everyone, including me, was right back into the normal driving pattern again. No confusion, no wrong turns, just the regular road. And that little experience made me think about something. Our brains are pattern machines. We love patterns. When we repeat something long enough, our brain builds a pathway. It learns the new routine really quickly. And eventually we start doing it automatically without even thinking about it. That's why habits can be so powerful. And that's especially true when it comes to food. If every evening for years we've gone to the pantry, grabbed something sweet, and sat on the couch, our brain expects that. Our brain builds that pathway for that behavior, just like the detour road in my neighborhood. And even when we decide we want to change it, even when the construction's over, sometimes our brain still tries to follow that old path. Remember, it's not because we're weak, it's not because we're failing, it's just because our brains simply learned a routine. The good news is this, just like the road in my neighborhood eventually returned to normal, our brains can learn new patterns too. It just takes repetition. It just takes being aware, and it takes grace with ourselves as we rewire those pathways. But over time, the new habits just become automatic and the old detours lose their pull. So if you ever feel frustrated because your brain seems to go back to the old habits, just remember the road. Your brain is simply following a path it learned. But with time, practice, and God's help, the new roads will be built. Thanks for joining me today. If you are ready to break free from food obsession and sugar cravings and start living your life unbinged, join me at lifeunbinged.com. If this episode spoke to your heart, I'd love it if you'd subscribe, leave a review, or share it with a friend. Until next week, go in grace and walk in freedom.